It's the Illest Podcast, and I'm your host, as always, Mr. Pierre Sledge. And let's talk about Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade has a new podcast, it's newer. And recently had explained how his son Zaire, who is, I believe, in the G League or going to the G League, trying to work it, get into the NBA. And he had said how he wasn't given basically giving Zaire a easy pass into the NBA by, putting in words here or trying to push this here and there. We've seen this recently. He said, basically, look, you're gonna have to work this out. You're gonna have to figure this out, because he's saying the hard part is what anyone who covets success or who gains success ultimately goes through. And I completely concur. But at the same time, I'm hearing this. I'm loving what's said, but I feel like the words just wind up being words and they fall flat. As much as I used to like Dwayne Wade, his game was really nice. But it really falls on deaf ears to me because you still wind up taking a shortcut too. You know, you kind of get off in the whole not one, not two, not three, not four. You kind of get a pass on that, but you shouldn't, because as you said recently in another podcast, I believe it was Shannon Sharp's podcast, you said that you were the one who made that call after Kobe won that fifth championship, and you called LeBron. Now, it sounded like in the context you were speaking that there had been prior conversation. So I don't exactly know who initiated it, but I still got to hold you culpable to some degree in that. So, the hard work thing, it sounds really good. And it's great that you're raising your young son like that, and that he's going to be uh not completely silver spoon his entire life. These there should be some things that you have to work hard for, because ultimately, as regular people, we all understand it. When you work hard for something, it the value of it is increased. It doesn't diminish as much. So so but that overlaps into something else. That overlaps into this LBJ and LBJ Jr. situation. Uh, I'm trying to decide, do I want to just do that in a separate video? And I might. So I'll just stay here with Dwayne Wade. So Dwayne has used to be used to be my favorite player, like right around the 2006 championship time. And he was balling. He was really balling that year, and it culminated into a championship with Shaq. But it's like he was already on that trajectory. Uh, Dwayne Wade was. He was already on the trajectory of greatness, Hall of Fame greatness. He was on it. I think what probably would have been different if LeBron never goes there. I think I think Dwayne Wade's career is greater. He might not have been more successful, or as in winning more championships. I don't know if he would have won two more championships. I'm not sure. But what we would have gotten is what we wanted. We wanted to see young Dwayne Wade versus young LeBron James battling. Not this shit show where you join teams. It's like and then you just weaken these two other teams, the Toronto Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And it took some time for them to recover from that, man. It was so set up for you guys to be the next ones, instead of joining teams and just, undermining the whole concept and the whole spirit of competition. It's terrible. It's terrible, and we're still feeling the shockwaves of that today. It's absolutely hard to watch the NBA today. You'll see, I mean, I, there was a game on the other day. I think the Cavs and the 76ers. Correct me if I'm wrong. There were like four starters out. Four. It's just like, what's going on here, man? Who, how, aren't these guys supposed to be bigger, stronger, faster, heal faster, and just shit? Aren't they um the evolution of the athlete in 2024? Isn't that what these players are? They have all the benefits that, the past players didn't, but yet they play less. I don't get it, but they sit out so much, man. And that to me kind of goes into, it overlaps with that whole concept of working hard for something. When you don't work hard for something, you just, look at Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is still in the NBA, which is crazy to me. He he was right on the cusp of being a superstar. Now he's just on the Nets. 9 points a game or something like that. He's just on the Nets because he doesn't work hard, and everybody can see it. All Ben Simmons wanted was the fame that came with it, the fame and the glamour, and he got it for a minute, but now he's just he's not even he is he even 25 years old? I don't think so, but I mean, this guy, they were pretty much anointing him the next LeBron. Who gets that tag? Nobody. But it didn't work out for him, but it was clearly because he just never developed the jump shot. And he makes it tougher on himself by every year posting these videos of him in the gym hitting like five, six, seven, eight 3-point shots in a row. Then you get into the season, you don't attempt any. It's like, man, you are so messed up. You are so messed up with it's just in your head, man, that you can't shoot, and you can't. You don't even attempt it, and that is again, that's a loss. So his greatness is tempered, or it's not even greatness. He his greatness is non-existent. But yeah, so you know, hard work is a part of any competition or sport should be a meritocracy. It was that thing that was a meritocracy. The bet, if you work hard enough, you can get here. Underdog stories. With this crap that's going on now, it's like, what underdog stories are going to be there? I mean, you have guys who have been grinding. Look at Scottie Pippen Jr. He's been in the G League for years now. He's been in the G Leagues for years now, and now he's shining as a starter for Memphis, I believe. He's actually playing good basketball, but he worked his way up. Scotty didn't do anything. He had to start at the bottom. So why is it that we're currently looking at one man raise his son in a way, and I maybe I don't want to say raise, because I guess technically that the child is no longer a child. It's a grown man. But to have to do this is just a terrible look. Can we agree that this is a terrible look, what's happening with Junior? Can we agree? I know you people say, oh, nepotism with white people, it's been happening, blah, da, 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 da. Sure, it sure has. But not not really on the court, not really on the field. Again, going back to meritocracy, I can't think of any situations where, you might have seen that in high school, but not at the highest levels. A coach will have his son playing quarterback or something, and people, the players don't really agree that he is the best for that position, but you don't see that in the NFL. You don't see that on the field. You may see that in terms of on the sideline, but to me, you know, that's that. I'm talking about competition between the lines. And there was a time where I didn't really hold the kid culpable, but he's grown enough to know that this shines a terrible light on him. He's being raised he's being raised above his teammates. When you have him, you know, private flying between a G League half the time and half the time. I mean, we haven't this unprecedented. And they're doing unprecedented stuff for a player who's below average. Just never happened before. So going back to it, Dwayne Wade, it's a good it's a good statement, a good quotable. It sounds fantastic that yeah, your son shouldn't be given anything. He should have to work hard for things to find that success in this. That sounds great, but I think it's also BS that you would say something like that, considering as you said, your words, you called LeBron as soon as Kobe won that fifth championship and said, "Hey man, we got to do something." You should have called your general manager and said, "Hey man, we got to do something." Or you should have called your homeboys on a team. You should have called, whoever was on the team, Haslam and Mario Chalmers, and be like, "Hey, bro, we got to do something. We got to go hit the gym. We got to go hit the weights," instead of some cheesy ass bailout. That's just my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Hit me in the comments. Peace.